Is there a way to add a soundboard to this shit? So we just-
Life tells us to fall in line.
we tell it to shut up.
In our podcast,
Empirically speaking,
we will be documenting our journey into reaching the top.
we are aspiring entrepreneurs eager to learn more about the world, understand people, discover ourselves, and share our experiences along the way. I remember my doctor, he told me that I was drinking too much water. He told me,
Yeah, that's right. I remember
stop drinking 3 to 4 liters of water
that.
a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't understand me.
I'm
thirsty. I'm different. I'm working out. He also told me to stop working out so often.
What?
Yeah, he's like, you're straining your muscles too much. I looked him in the eyes. I said, that's the point.
That's the point.
That's the point, motherfucker. That's why I'm here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and ever since that, I stopped trusting him in some of his things he tells me.
Yeah.
Although I did stop creatine because he told me that
You were having some problems.
some problems with my I think it's my liver, it was my kidney or something. It just wasn't processing creatine correctly, so I had like 4 or 5 times the amount I was supposed to have in my.
Yeah.
So
Oh god. Yeah, that sounds horrible.
pretty bad.
So how long after you started going to the gym? So wait. When did you officially start going to the gym? Like officially, when was it like a lifestyle?
man, when the gym.
Yeah.
Two summers ago.
Okay.
2 summers ago. That's when I started my journey in the gym. Right? You go through your heartbreak, you're like, okay, I have the motivation of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. So I worked out from home at first,
Yeah.
but then I decided I needed to get serious because the weights weren't heavy enough. So went into the gym.
Yeah. That was 2 summers ago, eh?
I'm pretty sure 2 summers ago. Yeah,
You
summer,
made
summer
a-
before
yeah.
going to university for me.
You've
Yeah,
made
so
a
what was
lot
it?
of progress since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I was pretty shredded though when I
Yeah.
the first day I stepped into the gym. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You will not believe I did not go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like the actual proper gym.
Yeah.
If you saw my first picture in the gym, because the first day I was actually lean
Yeah.
and I had a little bit of cutout, but it's because I worked. I don't know how stupidly hard I worked here at home, but something was working. So,
Yeah. You were doing something. I remember you doing some things at home. I came like once or twice
Yeah.
to come work out with you at home.
Yeah.
I didn't come again. But
Yeah.
you were definitely doing something. At the same time though, you've always been shredded for some odd reason. Shredded in terms of like you didn't have the muscle mass,
Yeah.
but you were shredded.
Shredded,
Yeah.
bro. I remember people used to be like, "Oh, it's impossible for an 8-year-old to have a 6-pack," and I went,
Yeah, I don't care.
"Yeah, I'm not. I'm not your typical
8-year-old.
8-year-old." Yeah, I felt like a Giga Chad, man.
Oh man.
Um,
That's hilarious.
But I don't know. It was just because I was skinny. So,
Yeah.
but it was my diet. I'm
course.
allergic to everything,
Yeah.
everything in the world. So, I was on a chicken and rice diet since the day I was born.
Not a bad diet to have when you want to be shredded.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
But the difficult part is that it's hard to gain muscle.
Yeah.
So I lean bulk.
Mhm.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not still on like the bulk cycle, are you? Or
Well, I was,
yeah.
and then it did pretty well. I went up 10 pounds, and then now I'm kind of stabilizing right now. I'm more of a lean bulker, so I don't like eat and get really fat.
Yeah.
I kind of just steadily gain muscle.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
It might be the dog.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like itching your
I
throat
was,
or something.
yeah. I was like completely fine,
And then I came.
and then out of nowhere,
I got a new dog, and like Jacob just said, he is allergic to fucking everything. So
I'm allergic to everything, guys. God damn.
including the dog.
Yeah, no, I feel my skin too.
Sorry, bro.
Worry about it just a little.
all
Not too much.
right, all right. Don't worry about it.
Not too much. I won't die. I could just feel it. Fuck, it's getting worse.
Is it actually getting worse?
No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It happens all the time.
If I need to stick you, I will.
Don't say that to me ever again.
With
EpiPen.
the EpiPen. With the EpiPen.
I've got the EpiPen. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. My body will regulate the amount of
Dog.
dog hair in my system soon.
Yeah, he actually doesn't shed all that too much.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but no matter if a dog is hypoallergenic, non-shedding,
Yeah.
whatever, I still react the exact same no matter
It's a
what.
mindset thing. Shouldn't have told you. I just shouldn't have told you.
No, it literally doesn't matter though. I always
That's weird.
yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's just because usually you don't react pretty bad, even when I come home or come here from home and I'm around Luna, right, my
Yeah.
other dog,
Yeah.
and she sheds a lot,
Yeah.
like all the time.
Dude, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's random.
Interesting.
So, like I remember there's one time. Okay, there's this one time I went to a park and I went down the slide,
Yeah.
and there was definitely a dog that went down that slide because at the top of the slide I was completely fine. At the bottom of it, I was like, I was so tired. I was dead.
Oh my God! It's a slide of death.
No, instantly my whole face was red, puffed up.
Oh
like-
my God!
Yeah, so it gets pretty bad for me.
Either a dog went down the slide or somebody was munching on peanuts on their way down.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Too.
Yeah.
Definitely possible.
each situation is.
My
That's
allergies
possible.
really do not do me justice.
Yeah. Although on the other end of the spectrum,
It does.
you've been shredded.
It's shredded. So
Yeah.
I guess it's worth it for the most part.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, no, my gym experience is new,
Yes.
right? I didn't start going until I want to say like maybe just under half a year now,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
So
But
I've been going-
don't forget, we were on a grind a little bit before the COVID. Or
Yeah,
during
it
COVID.
was a little bit. It was a little bit. What no. Yeah, it was during COVID. It was 2020. Because
It was the summer. We started together.
Yes, we did. We started together.
We
You
had to
just-
wait in
yeah.
a line outside. Or
Yeah,
outside, yeah.
You just kept going.
Yeah.
But I was there.
Like as much as me, I swear.
Yeah, I was there as much as you, and then I think I was like, oh, I want to do 4 days, and then I wanted to do 3 days, and then I stopped going. And yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But I would always ask him like, "So, what? You ready? You ready?" And then
Yeah.
you're like,
No, I'm not ready.
"But
But now, yeah. So now I've been going to the gym steadily.
Yes.
6 times a week for the last 5 months or something like that.
homie he goes to the gym more than me.
Now I do.
He
finally.
goes to the gym more than me. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Progression
Look
is
at
nice
him.
though.
Look at
so.
his progress. Oh
Hey.
my god. I
Hey.
wish I could see it because this guy is one handsome guy. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's-
And he's building the muscles up too.
Yeah, no, it feels so nice to go though. Oh my god, it was honestly, it's just a matter of like getting to it, just going. Though our experience when we first started, I feel like it was pretty good because we were paying a lot of attention to what we were doing, especially like you were making me aware of what was going on, and you were teaching me
Yeah.
about like, mind muscle connection and
Right.
and which muscles we were working on, which I knew nothing about. Like
Right.
you put a schedule together for me, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is a perfect routine. So I was just going about it. But I feel like we had a good experience starting off. Like it was pretty good,
Yeah.
right? And we were like taking videos and stuff just to see the form,
Oh my god, yeah. We took
Just to see the
videos all the
form.
time.
which was cool.
Yeah.
It was nice going with a gym buddy. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that. 100%.
It was. I think what was most fun for me was the competition because I remember for a while we were competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and we were trying to push more weight than each other, specifically on the bicep curls.
yes.
We were like, or the preacher. It was single arm preacher
yes,
curls,
Yes.
and we were like, oh, I just got up to 25, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, bet, and then you're like, I got it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know why that was like our thing, but yeah. Those
Yeah.
curls were going crazy.
Yeah, because they burned in all the
They
right
did.
ways.
They
It
did.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember why I stopped going. I think it was just like a lack of motivation. I've always wanted to go to the gym
Yeah.
and have like, a routine and whatnot, but I don't know. I never got there.
Yeah.
So it was weird for me. So getting started at the gym, I think was just the hardest thing for me. Obviously, like you started going and you were pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Like whether you, I don't like you definitely were like you led off, quote unquote, you led off of the pedal a little bit, but you never let go of the gas. You know, and then yeah, you were just always going.
Yeah.
You know, for me, obviously, I went, and then I wasn't, and then I went, and then I wasn't, and then finally, I decided to like truly dedicate myself, which pretty much that's all that it is.
Yeah.
It's just like getting to a point where it's in your routine, like in your habit, like and it is part of your day to go.
Yeah.
That is like the most important part. Because at first it was like, so when I started going, it was trying to get myself there.
Yeah.
And then after a bit, it was anxious about like not going.
Right.
Because as soon as like that time of the day comes, because like it's like this time, okay, I'm at the gym usually, right?
Yeah.
As soon as it hits that time, my
start
body,
feeling it.
yeah, my
Yeah,
body's like,
naturally.
yo,
Yeah.
something's happening.
Yeah.
Something's not right, right? We're not pushing weight here.
Yes.
So yeah, no, you get to that point where it's just kind of like, okay, it's easy cruising from here on out, you know, it's just a part of you, which is great. But honestly, it's just a matter of going. Another thing that helped me, like, continue going to the gym was, number one, instead of having you build me a routine, building myself a routine.
Right. Exactly.
Like, genuinely understanding, like, what I wanted to do, what muscle groups I wanted to work out, what days I wanted to dedicate to which workouts. Yeah, and then like also at the same time, earthquake. Sorry guys.
Yeah.
Also at the same time, what do you call it? Trying new workouts. That was another thing for me. Just like seeing what I liked more, like which workouts I like to do more.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember. So when we started going, I used to claim I loved leg day. That is not the case anymore. I hate leg day.
You know what's crazy? The way that you used to love leg day and I didn't,
Yeah.
it's like flipped.
Yeah.
Like I love leg day now.
Oh, I hate leg
The
day.
only thing about that is leg day is therapy, and that's why. Is because when you're fighting demons and you want to feel pain, you're feeling a little bit masochistic that day.
Oh,
You go,
God.
okay, I'm gonna have a good ass leg day, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
throw yourself into hell.
Dude.
You throw yourself into hell. You burn them legs, squats, RDLs, leg extensions, leg press, leg curls, whatever, anything. Bulgarians. Yo, don't
even
get
get
me
me
started either.
Oh my
man.
god.
Throw yourself in the ringer. Perfect leg day.
Yeah.
Get killed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Leg day is just
Love
it's just
leg
pure
day.
torture, but it's
Yeah.
good though, cause yeah, you get out of there and you just feel like a beast.
You feel like a beast.
You're walking on stone.
Yeah. Exactly. And especially when you're able to stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
And when you stay consistent, you not only feel the physical benefits, but the mental benefits as well.
Yeah.
Because you're proud of yourself. You're like, oh, I just did that.
Yeah.
I'm committed.
Yeah.
I'm consistent. I'm dedicated. I'm in this. Right. So I think not only do you benefit physically, but you also benefit mentally in terms of even having a happier lifestyle, having something to look forward to, and working on yourself
Yep.
through physical labor. You know, so I think it's increasingly important to do that. So it's really just about getting there, starting, and doing your best to be as consistent as possible. And as long as you continue to show up, even if you're not pushing more weight than you did last week, as long as you are just showing up, that is what it means to succeed for me in the gym, I'd say. Especially at the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
Right. And as you were saying, trying to find your style. There's so many different styles. You could fall in love with cardio and long distance running,
Yep.
which I'm not a big fan of, but
And you know
a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I still love long distance. I see it as a mental hardening. So that's what I like about it. And the fact that I don't love it is the reason why I do it. Or you could go for weight training, right? And there's different kinds of weight training. You can go for powerlifting or bodybuilding style.
Yeah.
You know, you could do CrossFit. I think, did I say that? CrossFit. You can do
Yeah, you
CrossFit.
can say it, but that's
You
a
can
good
even get
one.
into like martial arts.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different types of physical training you can do to get yourself well strung physically.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just have to be this one route where everyone's like lift weights and eat this specific ketogenic diet that you're going to hate for the rest of your life. Like, it doesn't have to be grueling. You just have to find the style that works for you and give enough attempts
Yeah.
and fail enough times to find the one that works for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it right there.
Yeah, no, that honestly is it. Like that's I feel like obviously we talked about before how like the position that we were in and that I was in before I started dedicating myself to this lifestyle, and going to the gym was one of the biggest things because genuinely
Yeah.
like being there, like it's something that everyone can do, whether it's you're going to the gym or you're doing martial arts or you're at home and you're stretching for an hour or you're doing, you know, just body weight stuff, whatever it is. Spending that time and dedicating yourself to actually spend the time to do it was something that
Yeah.
pushed me to do other things.
Right.
Because when I felt like I wasn't doing something, right? Because you're doing a lot, like in that hour or that hour and a half where you're working out, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you also start to see the progression, right? So I felt like if I was spending hours or an hour, like just whatever it is, not doing anything, I would just think about like, okay, I see that I'm doing progression at the gym and whatnot,
Yeah.
but the fact that I'm just doing that is not enough. And it kind of just gave me that extra little motivation, that like push over
Yeah.
to do the rest, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Getting started at the gym is 100% the hardest part,
Yeah.
but in the long run, there is so much long-term benefit.
Oh yeah.
So much long-term benefit.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most like the one of the best ROI, which is like return on investment things you can do for your entire life,
Yeah.
because it will. I mean, your body, you stick with it your whole life,
Yeah.
and working out physically actually helps with decreasing deterioration of your mental state.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So if you want to be young and healthy for long, not just physically but mentally,
Mhm.
I mean, it's the most obvious choice,
Yeah.
the most effective.
Yeah.
And I mean, would you really want to spend your whole life in a body that you hate, or a body that is difficult to live life with risks of disease and diabetes and all these different things? Like, it's just, it's the most logical reason. If you really respect and care about yourself enough, I think you should take the effort to at least try to keep yourself healthy.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
But to do that, you first need to understand the basics
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
working out.
If you know, you guys haven't been able to tell yet, today we're going to be talking a lot about the gym.
The gym.
We got a couple topics we want to go over. Obviously, both me and Atlas go to the gym pretty consistently.
Yes.
He's been going a little bit longer than me. He's got a little more experience in terms of the technical stuff, and I've got a little more experience on just like an outside perspective. Somebody who's new to the gym,
Yeah.
somebody who's trying to, you know, work their way into getting more technical and really trying to work on themselves. I come from a heavier weight where I'm trying to get rid of my weight. Atlas comes from a lower weight where he's trying to build muscle and mass.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about what we just talked about. So getting started at the gym, our gym experience, just some of the basics about the gym and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, putting goals down for the gym, staying motivated as well. Dieting as well. I think we should get into that. You know a little more about that because, like I said, you're a little more on the technical side. Healthy mindsets, and then our last topic, which I'm super excited to talk about, is gym etiquette, which I think is going to be a great topic
be a good one.
near the end.
Yeah.
So
We'll probably just share some fun stories around everything. Just at the gym, things like that as well. So I'm looking forward to getting into this.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. So first off, understanding the basics. Now you need to understand that there's technically two ways of building muscle, and it's through strength training and hypertrophy training, right? So with strength, you build up something called the myofibrillus in the muscle. Now, to make this simple, I'm gonna put it in simple terms. Let's say big strong muscle man, right? This is the actual muscle that's being built. The amount you can push, that's the myofibrillis. Whereas you can also build the sacroplasm of your muscle. So imagine that as the watery in between of the muscle, and that is hypertrophy.
Okay.
So these different kind of muscles, now they're not different muscles, it's just different parts of it.
Yep.
It's built by different rep ranges because the different rep ranges exercise the muscle in different ways. Right. So for strength training, if you want to build strength, so your optimal or maximal output, right? Let's say it's going from a 100-pound bench press to a 200-pound bench press. You're going to work in lower rep ranges, right? And that's going to help you build the myofibrillis. Now, if you want to help build with size, right? So that's the mass of the muscle. You're going to want to go in higher rep ranges, right? So strength training is relatively around rep ranges of 1 to 7, right? Now, which one, how to work both of them relatively equally is generally, I'd say between the 6 to 9 rep range around there. But to prioritize the hypertrophy, right? So the actual mass and the growth and the size of it would be probably generally around like 8 to 12.
Yeah.
Anything beyond 12 to 15 is like endurance. So how long can you, like long distance running, things like that.
Yeah. So when I started at the gym, I was doing an in between, right? I was going for sets of 10.
Yeah.
Pretty much on everything. And I was just doing heavy weight, about as heavy as I could get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty evident, at least in my experience, because I haven't built much mass. Obviously, my physique has changed 100%. I've dropped weight. I was at a very stagnant weight. So I was about 170.
Yeah.
And I was stable for a long time. And I was doing cardio on top of that as well. I was trying to burn as much fat as possible. At the same time, I was building muscle. So I was stagnant, right? It wasn't up until recently where I started to lose weight, finally, like actual fat, I'm guessing, right? So I've changed my workout regimen where now I'm doing it for hypertrophy training. So now I'm trying to build mass rather than muscle, since I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of like, I'm satisfied with where I'm at in terms of how much I can push. Obviously I still want to push my limit and get, lift even heavier. But at the same time, I want to see more progress in terms of mass and whatnot, and just my physique in general. Yeah.
Even working in the different rep ranges of strength versus hypertrophy, you'll still inversely help grow the other one. It's not just it only works hypertrophy, right? But it helps both. It's just you can target, right? You can target the different ones. So that's good. Even also when you're not losing weight. Like you saw differences in your musculature. Yeah. And that's because you're losing fat, building muscle. Right. So you might also not see a difference a lot in the size immediately because that fractional amount of fat you're losing, I don't want to say fractional. Let's say you lost like 5 pounds of fat. Yeah. Right. That's actually quite a lot, but distributed between your whole body, right? You're not going to be able to look in the mirror every day and be like, oh, this is different. Yeah. It's so difficult to look at yourself in the mirror and see a micro difference every single day.
Good luck.
But that transition from the beginning to a month, the month to the second month to the third month, right? All of those different kinds of huge time increments, that's when you'll see the difference. Yeah. And when you can look back from a year from now and go, damn, that was me? Seriously? Yeah. That's crazy. Like, even that is...
I got to tell you, man, like even a couple months now, like I said, I've only been going to the gym for a couple months. And so I was stagnant for a while, about 170. Though you obviously, I couldn't see the change just happening. I was taking progression pictures and I can 100% see that I've V'd out my torso, which is fantastic. And though I was stagnant, obviously my body was going through a huge change. My shoulders have widened out. My arms are bigger. So yeah, no, yeah, you're 100% right.
Most
in that.
masculine man right here. You see, his biceps have changed completely.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time he showed me his biceps, I was like, they're actually pretty naturally pretty big already.
Yeah.
And then he started cutting the fat, and I started feeling like a rock solid stone. And he's like, "Oh, look at this!" And I was like, "Hold on, hold on a minute."
I
This guy's
wasn't
always
even
massive.
noticing until you were gassing me up at one point, and I
Yeah.
was like, is it really that big of a difference?
Yeah.
And then that's when I started really paying attention. Though I was paying a lot of attention before, but I just wasn't. It's so hard to realize
Yeah.
the change that's happening.
Yeah, it is.
It's slow, but the progress again, like we said, it's so worth it. Long-term benefit, so worth it.
Yeah.
So just getting to that
100%.
point is fantastic.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Is there any other basics you wanted to cover?
I'd say maybe you gotta sleep.
Oh,
You gotta sleep
sleep is
Please.
important.
and recover.
Yes.
And recover.
Yes.
I think one of the best things you can do is not only work your muscles but let them rest.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the gym and hit chest and then go home, sleep 4 hours, go back to the gym and immediately hit chest again, number one, you didn't get enough sleep. And that's when your body's recovering optimally. Then you're going to be fatigued. And secondly, if you hit chest again immediately, right, so the same muscle group, without it being fully recovered, first of all, you're not going to be working near your absolute failure, right? So near your top optimal set, or your maximum.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, it's not going to stimulate the muscle, right? Like you'll still feel the burn, but just because you feel the burn doesn't mean you are necessarily working it optimally. So that's why you need to not only optimally train near failure, you need to optimally rest until you're ready for the next round.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important. And a big mistake I see a lot of new people do in the gym is they become obsessed with bench.
Oh, my.
They bench every day.
Oh, God.
They just come in, bench press, and they're like, "Oh, chest, and then come in and do it the next day, or like maybe rest a day in between, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
So definitely separate your workouts so that you have enough rest for your muscles to recuperate.
I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I think optimally it's 2 days. You want to let each muscle group relax and recover.
Yeah.
2 days in between, right?
Yeah, I'd say around 2 to 3 days to rest your muscle groups in between workouts.
Yeah.
Right. So that could even mean like doing a bro split, or which basically means you work out like specific muscle groups together. So you could do an arm day, and then a chest and back day, and then a leg day.
Yeah.
Or the way I do it is I split it up into an upper body, lower body, push pull legs routine, where the upper body day I hit all of the upper body. Oh, it's a camera.
Yep. I'll grab it.
Can we?
You want to do it right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
If it goes off, we can just leave it for just a second. We'll go back.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we're good. We're back. Okay, so upper body day. Basically, you hit all the upper body muscles.
Yeah.
Right. So chest, back, triceps, arms, traps and lats, which is your back, forearms, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the lower body day, you hit lower body legs, and then you hit push pull legs. So push movements, which would incorporate your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps, and then pull movements, which would incorporate your back, your biceps, and then your rear shoulders, so your rear delt. And then you'd hit legs again. So that's kind of how I separate it, so that it gives me enough time to rest each muscle group in between.
Yeah. I mean, mine's similar to that as well, right?
Yeah.
Like I start off with cardio. I love cardio starting off the week. So Sunday's cardio. Cardio's
day.
good. And then, like legs is Monday.
Yeah.
And then I've got upper body on Tuesday. And then Wednesday's my break day. Love Wednesday. And then I start off back on Thursday legs because I got that 2-day break, right? And then I'm doing push-pull and back to cardio.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm giving as much as I possibly can optimal time for each muscle group to recover before I go back in for my next workout involving that muscle group.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really important to let your muscles recover.
Yeah.
Extremely.
100%. I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And then you could also get into some basics about dieting. We're going to get more into that later, but I'd first like to declare that if you go into the gym and you do not eat healthy, I don't want to say even necessarily healthy, but if you don't give your body the necessary nutrients, your gym effort is going to be worthless, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because what's happening is your body isn't going to recover properly, right? That's the whole point of working out, is you tear your body down so it builds itself back up better. But if you don't heal it or give it the necessary energy to rebuild itself, it's not going to properly. And what it actually might do is it'll take from your current muscle storage and use that to burn energy. So if you're, number one, not eating enough, you're going to be burning your own body away if you want to like build muscle. Now, inversely, if you're trying to lose fat, that's all right. You should be eating less calories than your body needs so that it burns that fat away.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to build and you don't have enough, it's going to take away from your protein, your muscles. So that's why it's also important to get enough protein as well. Protein and calories, those are the two I push. That's honestly all, like, I'd say majority of what you need to focus on is your protein intake, your calorie intake, and those will produce, I'd say, like 80% of the results. Obviously, unless, as long as you're not disproportionately eating fats or carbohydrates, which is very unlikely if you just eat normal food, or anything really, unless you're eating straight fat all day, like that's not likely.
It's something you can kind of watch from an outside perspective. Obviously, calories and protein intake, you can do the same in a sense, but it's a little, you got to watch it just a little more closely. Everything else, you just have to have like better judgment, I would say. You don't need to get into like macros and all that and whatnot.
I do.
Obviously, if you want to, go right ahead, but it's not mandatory to get the correct amount of calories, protein, and nutrients that you need for your body, whatever build that you may have.
It's honestly just looking at, like, you know what to do. You already know what to do. It's obvious, right? You look at a pack of cookies versus an apple. You know what you should eat. So it's just making those small choices and making sure that you're not making it easy for yourself to make the bad choices. So it's moving, say, snacks away from the counter and instead displaying a basket of fruit and vegetables. Or actually putting fruits or putting vegetables on your plate for dinner. Right, instead of maybe leaving it in a pot or something. It's really simple. You just have to try and make any attempt to eat healthy, and you will make progress regardless.
100%. I definitely agree.
Hey, just a quick heads up. You can find the audio format version of our podcast on Spotify. So if you want to listen to this while at work or on the go, check us out over there. If you want to see additional content, you can follow us on pretty much every major social media platform. We post bloopers, funny reels, and updates about the podcast. All right, and I've taken up your time. Enjoy the rest of the video.
I think a big thing about all of this really is before you just kind of get into it, right? And you know, start eating healthy or watching your diet and whatnot, set some goals. I think that is the most important part. I think if you don't have a goal in your head before you start going to the gym, before you start eating healthy, you will be so confused with what you're doing, it won't go anywhere, right? You can't continue without a goal. So I think setting a goal, right? Let's say your goal, it could be as simple as you want to lose weight. Make that your goal. You want to gain muscle, make that your goal. You want to put on mass, make that your goal, right? Set a goal, and then from there on, you can understand where you want to be, what you need to do, and how to carry on from where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I remember there was a study that went on with New Year's resolutionists, and there was a part of it specifically about weight loss, I'm pretty sure. And they said that the more specific you are with your goal, the more likely you were to follow through with it. Now, I don't remember the exact statistics, but I remember it went something like this. So they had like 3 groups of people, and the first group just had the goal of, I'm going to lose weight. Second group was told to make it more specific. So they said, I'm going to lose weight by doing weight training. And then the third group was more specific. I'm going to lose weight doing weight training, and I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week at this gym, right? And they noticed that as you got more specific, these people were more likely to stick to the tradition. So the third group that had the various levels of commitments, like 90% of them were able to stick to it after a month. Second group, it was around 40%.
Wow, that's a huge drop.
And the first group was 10%.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, you know, the numbers just continue along as you test more people, right? So it's amazing how just getting specific with it can lead to such a difference. So if you really want to set a goal, I advise you to do this. Take out a piece of paper and write down, this is my goal weight. And don't be scared, okay? Just know that, hey, this is potential. This is not something to be scared of. This is what you can have if you give it your all. And write, okay, well, what am I going to do about it? Well, maybe I'll try and start making healthier food choices. And then I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to buy a membership at this specific gym. I'm going to dedicate 4 hours a week to the gym. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Get as specific as possible. Maybe post it in your room, somewhere you see every day. Read it every day. See it every day. Envision it every day. And work on yourself to believe that you can achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're not going to believe it immediately.
No, 100%.
But as you start receiving results from the gym, you will.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, just honestly being specific with what you're doing. You can get as specific as you want.
yeah.
Go into your diet, maybe set a meal plan.
Yeah.
Whether you want to do more cardio or more weight training, whatever it is, just be specific and be dedicated to it, and eventually it'll just become a part of your habit.
Yeah.
And your routine,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you just continue going.
Yeah.
At least we hope.
Now, I have a question for you. So,
Okay, maybe.
I remember you went through a period at the beginning of our journey when we were working together,
Yeah.
where you started becoming unmotivated. So, how would you say you started learning how to stay motivated or to get back into things in that whole process for you?
Yeah, that wasn't, obviously it was like a burnout a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. I got to a point where I was doing so much, and I was just piling everything onto my plate.
Yeah.
And obviously the gym was a lot on top of everything.
Yeah.
Because yes, I've got to take 10 minutes to drive there. I got to get ready. I got to go. I got to spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half being there and whatnot. And I dreaded it. Right. I dreaded it. Personally, in my experience, I was looking for anything and everything to motivate me back to getting to the point that I was at when I first started.
Yeah.
For me, it was I had a little bit of it was just a better situation to be in.
Yeah.
Right? So when I started, I convinced my older sister to start changing her life as well. And she was so motivated by how motivated I was when I started
Yeah.
that she was going beast mode.
Yeah.
She was going crazy. She was taking care of herself. Her
Yeah, I
diet
remember
changed.
that. That
She
was
was
good.
going to the gym like crazy, and she still is.
Yeah.
She's doing fantastic, right?
Yeah.
And when I started to fall off, I was just all I could think about was the fact that she got to the point that she's at right now because I was motivating her, and now I'm falling off. So if I fall off and she keeps going, who the hell am I? Right?
Yeah.
Right? And I was also thinking, like, what if I fall off and then she falls off and then I feel terrible because she's only doing it because I'm doing it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So honestly, that fired me back up.
That's good.
And then I got to the point where it was kind of like, now I have like a routine.
Yeah.
And I think at that point as well, I was beginning to feel there was no physical what do you call it? There's no physical attributes that was indicating that I was making a difference
Yeah.
since I was going to the gym, but I felt personally
Yeah.
my body I felt healthier.
Yeah.
I felt more alive.
Right.
My sleep schedule was ruined before I started going to the gym.
Yeah.
My diet was great. And then just like physically I felt better. Like I felt more active. I felt like I had more energy,
Yeah.
which was all in of itself, that was motivation.
Yeah.
That was motivation. So I think just getting to that kind of point really helped me as well.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. But I had a burnout. You're gonna have a burnout, no doubt. It happens to the best of us, unfortunately. But really, you just have to have that discipline. And I think also at the same time, another thing that I did to continue my motivation was I got specific, and I was trying new things.
Right.
I was trying new things at the gym because I was doing one thing. I found one regimen, and I put a few things in there, and it was working for me for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was getting unmotivated because I was bored, and at the same time, I didn't like what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right. And then eventually, I was like, hey, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do that. This is what I want to do. So this is kind of where I decided I wanted to do more strength training.
Yeah.
And so I kind of moved things around, and I started looking more into about how I could recover better and you know, make my like time more valuable, like more worth it. And that in of itself kind of just gave me that boost.
No, I
Really
feel
just
you.
putting myself again goals and just coming up with your own style.
I also think it's a big mindset thing. you know?
Yes.
If you start looking at yourself as not someone trying to start to get into the gym, but as a gym goer, you know, you kind of have that mental shift. You look at yourself a bit differently. And then on those days where you feel unmotivated, where you have to pull from the discipline bag, you know, you look at yourself, you're like, I'm not somebody that gives up. I'm not somebody that just sits here and allows myself to relax when I know I'm supposed to do something. And that's what kind of got me, because I'm lucky. I kind of automatically did that because I got to a point where I needed to go to the gym. And then after that, it was just such a lifestyle. I had done it for so long that it was just natural to me, right? And it's going to get natural to you too one day if you're able to look at yourself in the mirror differently, which you will eventually. But sometimes you got to pretend.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of have to pretend like you are that individual, that it's just natural. And you just go, and you go, and you go no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think is so big too, is not just motivation, but what you said, discipline,
Yeah.
right? So if you can really stick to it, even when you don't want to, I think that's when you truly change. That's when you become a gym goer, and that's when your life kind of starts actually flipping for the better.
Yeah. You know what? Like, you saying that actually reminds me. I do remember when I started going, I was telling everybody, I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to go to the gym. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that, right? And then eventually it switched where I was telling everybody that I go to the gym.
Yes.
I remember specifically like when it switched.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? Like, I gotta tell you, it wasn't just like a motivation thing where motivation was kind of like building and I was like, yeah, I know I can just go to the gym now. It was also a huge mindset change.
Yeah.
Where when I started telling myself that I go to the gym, I am a gym goer, it just changed my entire perspective on the gym.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need to muster up the motivation to go anymore because it was that pivotal point where I convinced myself that, I am a gym goer. Yeah, I'm about this. Yeah. So I just was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't hard anymore. So 100% I agree. Telling yourself that you're trying to go to the gym will only hold you back.
Yeah.
It will only hold you back. Start telling yourself, if you really want to be a gym goer,
Yeah.
then be a gym goer. Tell yourself that you are a gym goer and you will go.
Exactly.
Yeah. I definitely wish that was something that I learned right off the bat because that would have helped me. Honestly,
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because you have this little voice in your head that goes, no, just Just relax today. You've earned it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I tell
hate
you,
that.
I promise you, you have built up momentum. And by the time that little voice says, you've earned a break, that's like the devil whispering in your ear. He's like, I want you to stop just for today. But I'm telling you, you take that break that one time, you know what's going to happen the next time you get unmotivated? You're going to take it again.
Yep.
And you're going to take it again. And take it again and take it again. And then you're going to stop going to the gym. See, the problem here is you stop your motivation. Or not your motivation. You stop your momentum.
Yeah.
And that momentum is sometimes what you need to get to the point where you're never going to give up.
Yeah.
You're going to be disciplined. So don't listen to that inner voice telling you to take a break when you know you need to go to the gym or you need to do something. Now, if it's the inner voice where you're like, I'm dead, I hurt myself, I'm injured. Okay,
Relax.
maybe take a break.
Recover.
You don't want to get hurt. But remember, make sure that that voice in your head is not the
demon.
the demon trying to convince you
Yeah.
that you're too tired, right? It shouldn't be a you're too tired to go to the gym. It should be a oh yeah, no, you're hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know
need
something's
to
actually wrong.
recover,
Something's
yeah.
actually wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So if there's something actually wrong, then hey, take a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a second. But other than that, there
Yeah.
should be no excuses.
Yeah.
It should be no, I don't have enough time. You have enough time. You can
Yeah.
make time. You can always make time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care who it is. There's an hour somewhere in your day,
It's an hour. That's all
right?
you need. That's all you
Literally
need.
all you need is an hour. And it could look at your screen time.
Yeah.
Save an hour of screen time
Yeah.
and go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Let's say you're having an issue with time, right? Wake up earlier in the morning. Or a thing that I did actually was when I decided I didn't have enough time, or when I was saying I didn't have enough time, was come up with a emergency workout routine, right? An emergency workout routine for me, it looks like this, right?
Yeah.
It's just I don't have enough time to go to the actual gym, so stretch and body weight.
Camera switch.
Camera switch.
Camera switch because
Yeah.
this shit's set up.
Yeah, this is the shits. This is the shits. It is what it
This
is.
shit's- Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I think maybe we should talk a bit more about diet now, yeah?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Dieting. Okay, so dieting is a tough one.
I don't know much about it. The only thing that I know is that when I started and I was trying to lose weight, the biggest thing that got me away from eating incorrectly, one thing I couldn't do in my household was put things out of vision, right? And that sucked.
Yeah.
And it was so hard because I've got a little brother and I've got, siblings
Yeah.
that like to eat junk.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it was really hard, like seeing cookies around and seeing this, seeing that chips and whatnot. And usually my habit would to be just grab it,
Yeah.
But just I like to track not only my calories, but actually track the food that I was intaking.
Ah.
So
okay.
like actually put it into like a list and seeing the things that I was consuming that day and every day.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me because I could genuinely I could look at it and be like, oh goddamn, I ate cookies. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But instead it said I ate an apple or I had chicken and rice and this and that. Like,
Yeah.
so that was a big thing for me. Though I didn't get too much into the technical side. How much can you explain about that really?
All right. So I just wanted to relate really quickly.
Yeah, of course,
To,
yeah.
to something you said. So it's crazy. A lot of people don't realize how many calories they intake, and they actually oftentimes underestimate how many calories they're eating. So I have a person. Sorry. Someone I'm personally training, and I requested, I was like, okay, I want you to track the food you intake just for a week. On the first day, she sends me a screenshot. She's like, what the hell? I'm eating this many calories a day? And I look at her list and she realizes that she snacks all the time and was eating these different unhealthy things, and that most likely wasn't even including everything.
Yeah.
Because there's sauces, there's other things you add on top,
Mm-hmm.
there's all of that, right? And most people are, it's very difficult for people to count calories, to track properly.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Right. So that's the thing, is you don't realize. So that's actually number one, something I advise people to do is, number one, track your calories for just a week.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do it indefinitely. To get majority of your results, you can get majority of the results you need by just portioning, right? So what that would consist of is not calorie counting, but having your plate and dividing it into sections, right? So basically for me, it would be 1/3 protein, right? And then probably like maybe 1/5, this is for weight loss, 1/5 of a starchy carbohydrate. It's like rice or pasta or things like that. And then the rest of it would be fibrous carbs, so like vegetables. And if that's literally all you need to do to lose weight,
Yeah.
is proportion your plate in that way.
Yeah.
Because the point behind this is, number one, protein is very filling
Mm-hmm.
and very healthy. Number two is the fibrous carbohydrates are very filling and low calorie, and the starch will help you feel a bit satisfied.
Okay.
Because everyone loves their starchy carbohydrates, and you still need some because your body
Yeah.
runs off of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Typically, unless you're on a ketogenic diet. We could get into that later. But basically, in that diet scheme, you'll be effectively filling yourself up to feel full and eating less calories.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point of this is to get into a calorie deficit. So that's how you lose weight.
Yeah.
Is you eat less calories than you burn. Right? So that's basically all you need to do. But if you want to get into specifics, this is how you make the most effective progress. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to accelerate it by 8 times, but it will definitely be a lot more specific and a lot more effective than just portion sizing. If you want to get down to like lean 10% body fats, 10 to 15% body fats, this is what you're going to want to do. Count your calories, you know what? First, you got to understand macronutrients. There's 3 of them. There's your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat. You need a relatively healthy amount of each of them. For me, the way I distribute it, 60%-ish carbohydrates, 25% protein, and the rest in fat. Right? So that's generally, like, give or take, like 5% for each of them. Now, with your protein, for me, I'm a meat eater, so it's you could eat fish, ground beef, pork, chicken. You know, those are the main ones that are very healthy. And then for your carbohydrates, I just eat a lot of rice, honestly.
Yeah.
Just a lot of rice. But you can eat pasta if you really want to. It helps with gaining weight. Or like potatoes, really good one as well.
Yeah.
And then for fats, is not all fats are actually bad. That's what a lot of people think. But there's certain fats that are healthy. It's just that fats that are unhealthy are normally from processed foods, which make like trans fats, which are very, very unhealthy. That's what like clogs your arteries and it gives you high, I think it's cholesterol.
Yeah, cholesterol.
Right. So, or mono, I think they're saturated. They're saturated fats as well. So the healthy kind of fats that you want to go after are things from like olives or vegetable oils. Avocados are very good.
Oh, yeah?
Or like nuts, soy, seeds. Those are very good healthy fats. So to get like a healthy distribution of fat, you want to eat those things.
Okay.
Now, understanding that, you also need to distribute your protein your macro intake into proper percentages. So the percentages that I just listed, right? 60% carbohydrates, 25-ish% protein, and then the rest into fats.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, and you have that really lean, sorry, really lean diet, you're gonna really quickly see progress in losing weight, building muscle, becoming lean, and getting that physique you want.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all you need in dieting.
Yeah.
So
I definitely wish that I could add on to this topic, but I think you're teaching me as much as you're teaching whoever is listening, probably.
yeah,
So-
I'm sure that was very. I did that very strict.
Yeah.
To the point.
But I mean, definitely. Again, like I wish I could add on, but you're the technical expert here, so okay. Yeah. Macros are definitely not my biggest concern
Yeah.
at the moment, just the way I'm going with my routine and my goals right now.
Yeah.
But definitely
Yeah.
something to consider if I need to get specific.
And that's the thing is, I personally don't even advise people to macro count
Yeah.
especially because people do it wrong normally.
Mm-hmm.
So really, all you need to do is calories, protein.
Yeah. Biggest things.
Protein is what? Okay, so
I think carbs are big too.
carbs are
Getting your
also pretty
carbs
big
in, yeah,
because that's what your body's gonna burn.
yeah.
But I'd say above that is actually still protein.
Yeah, of
because
course.
what you need to actually get success in the gym is number one, understanding what your goal is for calories. So, if you want to gain weight, eat more calories.
Yeah.
If you want to burn weight, or burn fat or lose weight, whatever, you want to eat less calories
Yeah.
than your body needs to maintain. Now, you can do that generally. You can find out that by generally just going to Google, typing in BMR calculator, body maintenance calories calculator. It'll give you a general synopsis based on information you give it. And the second thing is working in the gym near failure. And the last one is also is protein intake.
Yeah.
Right? Because you need that protein intake because that's what is going to actually allow you to build the muscle. Right? It's going to take that protein that you eat and then basically add it onto your muscles.
Yeah.
Boom. That's growth.
Yeah.
That's why you need your calories and that's why you need your protein intake.
Yeah.
So that's why I advocate for those two because it's really the major things that are going to contribute to your growth
Yeah.
in the gym.
Yeah.
So
You know what we definitely don't advocate for?
Huh.
Substituting all of your protein intake with protein powder.
facts. That's facts.
Don't do that.
That's so, it's crazy.
It's not how it works.
I don't even take protein powder.
Yeah.
I'll
I
take
do.
anything.
I do.
You can. It's
yeah,
good. It's
yeah.
good.
On
It's still
top
good.
of a lot of protein that I'm getting it from meat
Yes.
and from
Yes.
a lot of other foods.
Yes. Never, ever replace a meal
With
with protein powder.
Protein powder. Dear.
Oh my god! I remember one of my friends used to do it. I looked at him and I said, "So how's your gym progress going so far?" he's like, "I've been stagnant for the past 2 months." I'm like, "Oh really?"
No doubt.
And then I put him on a proper meal prep for
Yeah.
him, and then out of nowhere he's like, "Bro, I'm losing all this weight. I'm actually, oh my god!" And
And that's when
I'm
you
like,
applaud him.
"Well, did you stop? You stopped
Yeah,
your
your-
old habits,
yeah.
right?" He was like, "Yeah, thank you, man." I'm like,
Yeah. See,
course.
this is a quick example of good gym bro etiquette.
Gym bro
Yes.
etiquette. Be there for the bros.
Yeah, instead of just telling him that he's stupid,
Yes.
I just being like, hey, yeah, you suck. No wonder you helped him out,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to talk about gym etiquette
Gym etiquette. Let's
for a
get
long
going.
time.
Let's get going.
Since we had our conversation about this episode, whenever the hell it was, and at the time when we talked about it, there was a big rave going on,
Okay.
and I don't know if it's still
Oh,
going on.
Yes.
But I wouldn't be surprised. But this whole people filming in the gym, and filming other people and making other people look stupid online.
Okay.
I think that is terrible. I just want to start off there, and then we can move down the list. I think that's a super important
Go ahead,
topic
go
that I want
ahead.
to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. I think right now with what's going on, I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
Right. I think if we're talking about just recording in the gym,
Yeah.
I think it's not bad. I'm not totally against it. Obviously, I love the content you're making. Right. The content that you've made is fantastic. Right. And there's other influencers out there that are doing the same thing where they are influencing, right, people in a good way.
Yeah.
Right. Showing people how good form is, and gym etiquette and whatever the hell that it is. And then there's people in the gym that are calling themselves influencers or filming their form, but taking the content that they're getting and embarrassing people and whatever it is, right? That is what I 100% disagree with. And unfortunately, it's ruining it for people like you who want to film in the gym for okay reasons, like genuine reasons. Like, you want to make content and you want to show people and you want to showcase how you're doing things. Like, that's okay. But what's going on right now is so horrible, not only for, again, like you and other influencers out there, but people who are just in the gym.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, the gym has skyrocketed in popularity recently. And I think it's unfortunate for people who really want to get into it now that they have the motivation to, and they're seeing it here and there, right? They want to get into it, but they're so deathly afraid of seeing a tripod. I'm not even gonna lie. The other day, I was at the gym in St. Catharines, actually, the Fit for Less there, and just out of the corner of my eye, I saw the three-legged beast.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh my god. So, not that three-legged beast, but I turned, and thankfully it was just sitting in the corner with no phone or camera in it.
Oh my god!
But
it's like,
it was like
exposed for something.
Yeah, it was it was like a shot of fear. I just saw it, and I was like, oh my god! And that's just like out of all the rave and all the things that's been happening.
Yeah.
It's terrible and it's horrible.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, some of these people are so excited, looking for someone to embarrass themselves or to maybe do something that they don't find okay.
Yeah.
And they instantly try and posterize them. Like there's some of these videos where it's always these like people that are so full of themselves.
Yeah.
Someone walks by their camera in the gym, they're like, "Hey buddy, I'm recording here," or something, and then it comes a fight, or like someone comments because someone's staring at them. And I think all of that's like, you're all in a gym. Some people look around, right? Some people walk around. You got, like, you're number one, if it's a private or a public gym, like, come on.
It's a public. This
It's
is
a
not
public
your
gym.
private gym.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have to expect it. Just because you'd want someone to give you courtesy doesn't mean that every single person there is going to. And don't forget that your tripod is also in the middle of, say, a walkway.
Yeah.
Or it's in a gym.
Yeah, it's in a gym.
Right? People are walking around. You should expect it. Don't be so arrogant. Don't be so full of yourself to think that everybody has to just abide by your way because there's a tripod sitting there. And that's what a lot of people do. And just the way you said, it starts making people, stray away from wanting to go. Or so, I mean, you really got to be careful with how you handle yourself in the gym if you are recording, because you don't want to fear people off. It's not the way to go. So
See, that's the thing though, is that it's a shared space. Right. It's not your private gym. And you need to understand, if you're coming to a public gym, don't expect the world to revolve around you. Because it doesn't. It doesn't. People are doing their own routines and doing their own thing in the gym. So don't expect people to see your tripod. Yes, okay, if you see a tripod, I think that you definitely should be a little cognizant, right? Maybe walk around it if it's possible. If you truly can't and you just need to carry on, it's not that big of a deal.
It happens.
You should definitely not get offended if somebody walks through your footage, because it is what it is. Again, you're in a public space. Nobody is supposed to do anything for you. It's nice if they go around, but they don't have to. And that's that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So
were you gonna say something before?
No.
Oh, yeah. So and just leading off of that point, right? Off the point that it is a public gym and things are shared. I think just gym etiquette in general is super important, right? One thing that I notice in the gym that I go to is that people don't care about weights, right? They don't care about weights. If you're slamming a weight, I don't care,
Yeah.
right? I don't think that's that big of a deal, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Leaving your weights around, right? Like using an abundance of weights and then just leaving it, right? Is terrible and horrible, I think.
Yeah,
It's
you
terrible
should-
and horrible, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. So I'm going to say this, for example, leg press, like incline,
Yeah.
right? If you're doing incline leg press, there's a lot of beasts out there
A lot
that'll
of
do like
these-
4 or 5 plates,
Yeah.
right? If you're leaving 4 or 5 plates
Yeah.
on the leg press incline when you're done, that is just like, that's bizarre, right?
Yeah.
There's people out there that can barely lift the 45s,
Yeah.
and you're insane to leave 4 to 5
Yeah.
on each side,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
know, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I remember I when I used to work out with some girls, like especially, I'd be like, okay, rack on like 6 plates for me, on this one side, and then I'll finish my one side, and they haven't got one. I'm like, oh, sorry, I forgot. And then
Yeah.
because like it's hard, it's very heavy to
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
pull it up, especially if you're newer. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying all girls are weak. Okay?
No,
You know,
no,
don't
no,
think
no,
that.
yeah.
I'm just saying that there's difficulty for some people, and also it's gym etiquette.
Yeah. It's just gym etiquette.
Like you put the weight on, or even if you didn't put the weight on and it was already there and you're working with it, you should still take the time to just put it back,
Yeah. Yeah.
ready for the next person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I mean, it's just common sense, right? I mean, leave it as nicely as you can.
yeah.
And even when a lot of people leave their weights just around or don't re-rack the dumbbells or whatever, like I think that's one of the stupidest things you
Yeah.
could do in the gym.
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious. Like take it, you took it from the rack, put it back.
Yeah.
And especially it's when, I don't know why, but it's always the heavy dumbbells. I think it's because people are too lazy because it's heavy. But like in the gym I go to, we go to the same one. Yo, if you go in the nighttime, we have a little special room for premium members. I walked in once. Yo, I wish I could properly describe this to you. A tornado hit it, and then every single dumbbell was off the rack. Someone was messing because they put the bench upside down against the wall, stacked up on top of multiple like yoga mats, like pretty high, and the dumbbells were plethoraed around it like they were following the bench, like they were followers praying to it. I walked in, I was like, this is not real. Like this, and it was like blown. It looked like it was a random storage unit, just with random
What?
stuff in it. Yeah, and the staff have to put that away.
That's horrible for the staff.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God, yeah.
And so it's so easy to just put your things back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just walk over, take like the extra 10 seconds
Yeah.
it takes to take the dumbbell and just put it back.
Yeah.
Or unrack the incline press machine, or take the barbell and take the plates off and put it back.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's
So-
not even just like for other gym users. I remember I went to LA one time, and it was during like closing, right? They closed pretty early,
Yeah.
and it was so unfortunate for me to see. There was this older woman that was working there,
Yeah.
and she had a rope that was connected to a cart, and she was tugging it over her shoulder. She was an older woman, like
Yeah.
like a lot older, right? And she was tugging it over her shoulder, filled with weights, heavy weights that made it from one side of the gym to the other side of the gym, and she had to manually put every single weight back, no matter how heavy it was. So
Yeah.
just in general, makes somebody's day easier
Exactly.
by just putting your weights back. If you can lift it
Simple
off
set, yeah.
and do sets and do reps, you
Yeah.
can do one more set or one more rep, sorry,
Yeah.
and just put it back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that big of a deal, right?
Exactly.
That's definitely my biggest like gym etiquette pet peeve is just how weights are handled
Yeah.
in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also at the same time, people standing in front of the weights and doing like sets in the weight, like literally like using the weights as support.
Yeah.
I need the 50, please. I need the
Please,
50.
yeah, please move on.
Please.
Yeah. Like I get it if it's a very full gym
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of space, because there's certain hours where it gets very full and the dumbbell racks are always, there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you could move somewhere,
Yeah, if you can,
preferably,
Yeah.
try to.
please.
You know, because it just makes it easier for everybody else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I 100% agree.
yeah.
At our gym specifically, right, we go to a pretty cheap gym, right? It's about the cheapest gym that you can go to here,
Yeah.
Fit for Less. And just unfortunately, there are a lot of kids at the gym.
Yo,
I don't want to
crazy.
bash kids too much, right? I don't want to bash kids too much.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just funny the things that we see. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's not like they're doing things wrong, as in like bad form or this and that. It's just like, it's intentional things that you shouldn't be doing at a gym. Like one thing that I saw was, oh my god,
Yo, this is crazy.
It doesn't. Yeah, listen, it doesn't bother me too much. It's just funny. But seeing the like a group of people swinging on what is supposed to be a pull-up bar and using like the Smith machines as if it's like a McDonald's play place, that kills me. It kills me. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that's hilarious. But on the other hand, you know, sometimes like they'll grab the yoga balls and like kick those
Start
around the
kicking it
gym.
around, yeah.
That's horrible. Again, it's a shared space and there's people around,
Yeah.
but just horrible.
I also know a lot of the young ones, they always like scream and talk really loud and hey,
Yeah.
you can have your conversations, but it'd be like a whole hurdle of them running around like oh,
Yeah.
and then they like randomly start sparring and fighting in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
And
I
they're
see that.
talking big about where.
Yeah.
I remember you told me there's one story about there's this girl and this guy, the young ones.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah. Oh,
You knew the guy.
I knew.
You knew the guy. So I started
Yo.
this gym. I started this gym
Oh my-
before you got there.
Hilarious. Yeah.
And when I started there, I was made so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable because there was this very young couple. Okay, we are 19. All right, and when I say young, I mean young. All right, it was making me so uncomfortable because these two would come in and they would fondle each other and kiss each other so deeply. And just like it was, oh my god! I can't get the image out of my head. I was doing sit-ups and I was stretching on the mat, and just from across the gym, I see this man, full swing, shoulder up, grip this girl's butt, this young girl, and I got up and I left. I got up and I
Just
left.
left.
I left. I could not do
Yo,
it.
you like the homies like what? Oh,
I was
what
jaw
just-
dropped. I was like, oh man, I can't even describe to you the amount of uncomfortableness. It was
Yeah.
through the roof. I've never felt
Yeah.
like I've never felt uncomfortable in a public space
Yeah.
that bad.
Yeah. So they're just
That's
making
horrible.
out. They're just making out in the corner.
Oh my god, like you're in a public space, please just relax. God, if you're gonna do it at home. Just chill out.
It's crazy.
Oh my god! Listen, and I wanna go back to what you were saying before, because, God, I need to change the topic here.
No, go ahead.
But
go ahead.
going back to what you were saying before, the whole hurdling thing. It's not kids. It's not. Well, yeah, there are kids that do it, and there are also adults that do it as well.
Yeah.
But hurdling, like a lot of people in like one area, and just using like everybody's watching one guy bench, but like they're all friends, like. That's so, and then just like the next guy gets on, the next guy gets on, the next guy gets on, like just the big groups.
Yeah.
That's not the biggest pet peeve, but it's like, bro,
What was happening?
what's going on? You're gonna spend the next 3 hours watching
Just on
each
the
other,
bench.
get a new
Yeah,
PR
like-
in 5 minutes.
Like it's not terrible if you all have to work in together because
Yeah.
like damn sometimes the machines are used, but I don't know. It's just pretty funny to
yeah.
see.
When it becomes like a social club at the bench, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
you're in the way of some people and whatnot. People are just trying to get
Yeah,
done.
just, I'd say as long as you're not in the way with everybody.
yeah. As
But
long as you're being respectful.
oftentimes- yeah. Oftentimes, that's not how it goes.
No, yeah, it's usually not how it goes, and it is unfortunate to see
Yeah.
that, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not too peeved by
Yeah.
a lot of the things that go on.
Yeah.
It's just minor things that I do believe a lot of people are conscious about and
Yeah.
don't have the voice to speak up about it and are
Yeah.
comfortable and uncomfortable and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I look back at and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That's good on us. When we were going to the gym and we were that age, right? We weren't like that.
I hope not, at least.
We weren't like that. Like we were in grade 11,
Yeah.
grade 10 or grade 11, whatever it was, and we were not like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Or tame.
yeah, we were pretty tame, right? We just weren't using like
Yeah.
the machines as like the jungle gym and kicking balls around. All we really did was just like you wanted to go for PRs like every day. Which you want to go for PRs like every day. And just like also we recorded ourselves to see our form and like to track progress.
Yeah.
And that was it. But we never got like crazy or annoyed. We always had gym etiquette in the back of our
Yeah,
heads.
exactly. Like you're cognizant of your own space.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
intruding on anybody else.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect. That's
Yeah.
good. So, but I also think, we were talking about how there's these people being really loud and social and whatever.
Yeah.
I think we got to a point where it's like it's not terrible to socialize. You should, right? I actually believe that the gym should be a place to socialize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like you should be making friends there,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you want to make it a place where you're gonna be consistently. You should make some friends, but do your best not to be kind of like a gang of 20 people.
Yeah.
Rolling
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Don't pull up too much. Yeah. But I definitely agree. I think it's great to meet people at the gym. I'm personally not. I personally wouldn't go out of my way to meet a lot of people at the gym.
Yeah.
I think that it happens once in a while and it's fantastic. I love meeting people at the gym once in a while.
Yeah.
Just also being cognizant of people, like if you see somebody who's got like headphones in, they're zoned in, probably don't go bug them.
Yeah.
Right? Probably don't. But if you see somebody who's a little more relaxed, maybe they don't have their headphones in, then yeah, I say it's perfectly fine. I say
Yeah,
just
you
make a
can be
judgment
friendly.
call. Yeah, be friendly, make a
Yeah,
judgment
exactly.
call. Whoever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really think don't make it the social club.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, really.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of people there just want to get their thing done and go.
Yeah. Like again, like me, I like to be in and out. I like to just go
Yeah.
and I like to be out.
Yeah.
Get my things done and be out. So,
You'll meet a lot of different characters there. Like for me, I'm like the opposite.
mm-hmm.
So in between sets, I'll walk over and say, "Hey, how's it going? What you doing?
Yeah.
What you hitting today?" We'll have a little laugh, then we'll just go back to whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you'll find your balance as you go.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to get in your mix of things, but
100%.
yeah, it's pretty much it. So